Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays Kerbal Space Program. Last episode, very successful. Not that much of a breakthrough, though. We landed on Minmus. We did it relatively quickly. Landed very gently. Tons of fuel left for re-entry. What can I say? I mean, we got enough science. We should have science on board. I'm not sure if we can actually check that. We also completed a mission, which was to plant a flag on Minmus. Planting a flag on the moon is a joke at this point. If we return, we'll have completed another mission. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we should basically just get going back. The whole point of this episode, return safely, which gives us another chance to test re-entry, followed by establishing an array of satellites in a network around Kerbin, which is a necessary precursor to us being able to land on the surface. Well, to land an unmanned probe on the surface of Duna, or even send an unmanned probe to Duna, for that matter. Anyway. Let us go. We are going to, I mean, the takeoff and return should be fairly easy at this point. We don't even need to set Kerbin as a target, mostly because I don't know how to do so. We should take off. I think we should point that way, so we get in an orbit like this, and then we accelerate at apoapsis here, get recaptured by Kerbin, and, you know, Bob's your uncle. We have so much fuel, we could afford to do it the wrong way as well, but let's do the right way, which I believe is going to be take off, and then we're going to Jeb. What? Why does my Jeb have no nodes anymore? Is this a glitch? I mean, are you are you okay, Jeb? You used to be like pretty sick at this. I don't know what happened. Oh no, because we have SAS off. Okay, I'm an idiot. All right, so we want to just, I don't even, that apoapsis is far too large. At apoapsis, we did like no gravity turn. We're gonna accelerate. Suppose it doesn't matter too much how we choose. I mean, we should accelerate way less than that, but we want, I mean, I was hoping to swing around and then shoot out this side and get captured. I guess I did go the wrong direction as well. Anyway, I'm getting too specific here. Getting back should be not a problem. We do want to point up a little bit, like our apoapsis is going this way. So I think we want to add maneuver. Pull up. Pull up. Wait, no, it's... No, that's the... Yeah, maybe that's more like it. Little much. It's like... Thing is, it's a little much. Escape, Minmus. Okay, and now we have a Kerbin apoapsis or a Sun apoapsis? We have a Kerbin apoapsis. There we go. All right, so just do the maneuver, basically. You don't have to worry about anything apart from doing the maneuver. In 23, well, in 5 minutes... Oh, it's so maneuverable. In 5 minutes, we're going to burn for 23 seconds. Still got to work on this section of the game, no doubt, but it's not that bad. All right, you got 5 minutes. Put me on 50 time, please. Got about 20 seconds. Well, actually, the burn is 23 seconds. We want to burn in like 5 seconds from now, which is kind of crazy. And 3, and the 2, and the 1. Let's go. This is going to already lead to us getting recaptured by Kerbin, which just goes to show you like how little fuel you actually need to complete this section, and versus how much we have left. Now, re-entry is still a problem. I still have a habit of slowing myself down before re-entry, which honestly has worked very well, but apparently is not like the consensus choice for how to do it. Now I've accelerated too much, but there's a lot of tolerance for messing that one up anyway. We might as well warp to our Minmus escape. Or close to it. Okay, we're now on that Kerbin beat again. Well, we can forget we're out here. It's like a glacial time scale. And then burn retrograde at periapsis until our periapsis becomes about 30,000. 1.4 million, huh? 1.4 million, huh? 1.1 million. It's going to happen fast. Still 1.1. 556. Try not to hit the moon on your way back. 251. 30. Dude, that's perfect. Actually perfect. All we're doing is burning retrograde, so we just tell the game to swing us around retrograde here, please. Thank you. It's not the game, it's Jebediah, for the record. It's because he has such incredible skill that he's able to do this. Don't feel comfortable going, oh, that's a little too fast. Yeah, okay, take me at 1,000 for now, but, like, don't relish the opportunity, okay? 5 hours. 4 hours. 3 hours. 2 hours. 1. Get down with the soup. Just open up your gates. Okay. I know it's open up your hate, but I didn't want to say the H word. Wait till we get down to about a minute. Probably about a minute and a half is where we want to start paying attention to this again. Because it is a narrow burn. Like, there's not a ton of room for error. We definitely have more than 30 seconds worth of fuel left. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, see? That was actually a little bit late, but relatively well-timed. In theory, this should be the last burn that we need. We should decay naturally into Kerbin's atmosphere. What I'm probably actually going to do is try to slow ourselves down by burning retrograde at around 100,000 or something like that. So we're going slower through the atmosphere. But I recognize that's a bad habit. And it might be slowing down my progress to learn, or of actually learning how the physics work. Good burn, though. Periapsis 86. Bring this up, please. Sure. 27,000 admittedly is not 30,000, but it's better than 80. That was me hitting shift, by the way. Should tell you how much our engines are adjusting our trajectory right now. I mean, I guess all is as it should be. All right, warp me to roughly here, please. It's a long trip, you know. Jebediah has been out of the game for like 11 days here, but I haven't done any quick loads. It's been a relatively seamless mission, actually. So what's the game plan if we just want to land? In theory, and you know what? I'm going to put my faith in the YouTube commenters. I think it's... people, they get very scared about that idea. I'm not scared. I trust you guys. You're a very, astute group of people. I've quick saved. I'm going to speed up a little bit. It's going to speed up a lot, actually. And then when we get to, like, the place that we're close, I'm just going to point retrograde, dump my fuel, and let science take me away. This does speed up the physics, I'll admit. But the theory is that just the heat shield combined with the air resistance should keep me in the game here. Yeah, but you need to see, the thing is you have to point retrograde. So pretty much, I'm a little scared. We are entering the atmosphere a little hot. But, you know, we put our faith in the heat shield, honestly. So far, it's handling business. We're descending quite rapidly. The heat shield seems like it's holding it together. We're slowing down. We're still slowing down. Yeah, okay, we're actually fine. Well, that was sick then. I would like, if possible, you know, for us to stop having flames shooting out of the side of our craft. Like, probably not a good time for Jebediah to do an EVA. In theory, we should be completely fine here. You know, go up to speed 4. We'll land. I don't know, dude. Maybe you should take a soil sample from the Kerbal Mountains here. And this is actually one of the most successful missions we've ever done. Again, not a scientific breakthrough, but straight from, like, rocket design, all the way down to landing, re-entry. It all worked. So again, I do think there's a case to be made for, like, you EVAing. And then, like, I don't know, planting a flag. And now we're doing just, like, some terrestrial colonizing, just like the old days. Kerbin flag. That gives us some experience, I think. And then, you know, EVA report. We get a little science. Take a surface sample. It's a little bit more science. He's got it. Get in the ship. Recover vessel. Very, very successful mission. That makes me feel very accomplished. Like I've learned something and unified it all in this Kerbal experience. We got 142 science on that mission alone. The bulk of which came from the mystery goo in Minmus's lowlands and the surface sample in the lowlands. Spent a lot of money on that, for sure. Jebediah got no experience, unfortunately. But we did complete some contracts there as well. So the next step for us was getting arrays, the relay antennas. Sorry, not arrays. So this is in advanced construction, a relay antenna with automatic store and forward capabilities, as well as advanced pathfinding algorithms. So this allows us to transmit data to one of these, store it, and then you can forward it to other antennas in the array. Now, we didn't put relay antennas on our first few satellites. In the end, I don't think that actually matters, because those satellites are close enough to Kerbin to not be relevant. I thought at the time that we were establishing a communications network, but in hindsight, I'm pretty sure all that was doing was giving us proof of concept that our satellite strategy sort of worked. So we'll also get struts and other communitrons of some use, and a stack decoupler. Okay, well, we should research it. And if we get a little bit further... Oh, no, not even a little bit further, just a little bit more science. We can also, get closer to the advanced unmanned tech, in case that matters, and better relay antennas, etc., etc. But, in theory, now the next step, and this is what's going to take up the bulk of the rest of this video, is satellite launches, and we want them to be further out than the surface, than the celestial body we know as Minmus. So, our Kerbin satellites, we want to be distant. Very, very distant. That way, we can use them to transmit data back through the array to get to Kerbin. That's the game plan, anyway. So what do we need? Well, honestly, I don't think we need that much. We can go look at our previous satellites, which I probably called satellite? No, of course not. Why would I call them satellites when I could put a funny name on them? Did I call it probe? Kerbin satellite version 0.2? I mean, it seems like overkill, but it's also fine, I guess. But the problem is I have a communitron on here, right? Yeah, get this piece of garbage out of here. And instead, we can now put a relay antenna. Is this technically connected? It is snapped on there. Dude, I don't know. This might actually function. All right, so we're going to try this. Well, we just call this version 0.3. Designed to get in orbit. Designed to get in a high orbit around Kerbin to establish a relay network for interstellar travel and transmission of data. All right. Cool. So what's the plan with this thing? It's pretty simple. No crew, right? Yeah, okay. Wait, is this is unmanned? Can this even get to the skip? But the I mean, okay, you know what? Let's give it a try. We have to fly this manually as well. I don't remember how this rocket launch went previously. And all I mean by that is, I mean, first off, I see it bowing, which is a pretty bad sign. But, I don't remember how much fuel, like, each stage took. It certainly does not appear that stage 1 is going to get us into orbit around Kerbin. Maybe we don't need that. But that's usually the game plan. Let's see, what's our apoapsis here? 15. So we got a long way to go. At least it handles the gravity turn properly. That was a big nightmare for us for a long time. Ooh, that's, like, terrible. Alright, no. This ship sucks. Revert flight vehicle assembly. Hasn't earned it. Why are you building a 3-stage rocket here like some kind of idiot? New. Okay. So, the Octo is the next step in unmanned. The Hex, this is new. Far beyond its sleek, 6-sided futuristics casing. Advanced guidance assistance, reaction wheels, and decent-sized batteries. Dude, sign me up. Okay. So, we're essentially just sending a satellite up. I don't know why I'm getting so, like, so on my own butt about, you know, building a 3-stage rocket. It needs an antenna on the top of it. Or multiple antennas on the side is probably another adequate approach. Usually when you see a satellite, it's like a circle in the center and then like 2 dishes off the side. But we're gonna build this our own way for now. So this is fine. We do want it to have a service bay. And the service bay serves 2 purposes. That's too big. The service bay serves 2 purposes. One of these purposes is to store extra electricity, because this does have some. Somewhere down the line here. But let's start with the obvious. So we want to put... I don't care about science at this point. For this ship, I don't think the science is that important, because we've already done everything that it needs. But that's probably valuable. It's, I think, fairly reasonably intelligent to throw some monopropellant tanks in there. If we can get them to fit anyway. And those are... Is there any smaller monopropeller? I mean, we could put the monopropellant on the outside as well. That'll do just fine. Anyway, close this bad boy up. We also use this, the second purpose of this is to allow us a spot to put our photovoltaic panels so that we can generate our own electricity. Now, we could probably do this with girders as well, but is this going to kick our photovoltaic panels off when it opens? Possibly. That's fine. So anyway, this is going to be our satellite, more or less. So we'll put a decoupler there. It's too large. I almost feel like... I mean, all we need to do is get this thing a great distance out, right? So I sort of think that we only need like one basic asparagus staging setup here. And we might need some... I guess we do need some fairing, actually. So actually, give me a second here. We'll also need to put... It's in payload, that's right. We're also going to need one of these. For a while, anyway. Might as well be wide enough to cover the voltaic panels. Pretty hideous, but also, I can't lie, I love it. Okay. And then I really think, why don't we just run a one-stage rocket, more or less? One big asparagus staging rocket. So we're going to go structure. We're going to throw a Rockomax adapter on this. Then we're going to put some heavy-ass fuel tanks on it. Like so. And even that might be overkill. We'll put a mainsail. I mean, I'd say even that, but maybe like especially that. Then we're going to do what we always do here. Throw on some radial decouplers. Bilaterally symmetrical. And we want them to be high up, but we can start with them low to make a little bit more sense to the game for whatever reason. And then we just want to essentially duplicate this. So first just set them up like that. That's okay. And we're just going to duplicate. They don't need to be, I guess, the same size as the other ones, but we're going to have them be the same size anyway. And we're going to grab, because these are connected, we're going to grab this whole thing. Make it roughly equal. And now they're presumably well equipped. Then we go aerodynamics, protective rocket cone. We want our own engines there. Do we need mainsails? Probably not. But then we're going to be using big old rockets to position ourselves around Kerbal. I mean, all we're doing is accelerating far away from Kerbal. Actually seems like not that absurd of an idea. And then, of course, the final step for these ones is external fuel ducts that come in here. And then, I mean, that's a weird location because it's probably going to be like decoupled strangely there. That's fine. Then we take these and put them over here. They appear to be connected properly. Looks can be deceptive. But then touch this like that. Okay. Think about your other steps here. Aerodynamics are very important. Keep using these Delta Deluxers. We can also put Delta Deluxe winglets on these ones. I know they're not completely symmetrical. Even though we'll lose them, that'll be for the best overall. These are like way too high. Looks a little better. Sure, that's okay. Are these ones in the center? I mean, they are. Okay. And then we need structural support like so. And then we've got 5 engines at the bottom. These ones do indeed pop first. These ones do indeed pop second. The fairing, we can pop ourselves at our own leisure, I guess. And then the final step, I just had this in my head a second ago. Oh, it was struts or girders, because we were definitely having problems earlier. These things are gonna like wobble like nobody's business, dude. So they need to be set up properly. Okay, sure. We're gonna call this satellite, and then destination, that's satellita. Destination is gonna be high Kerbal orbit. All right, so if this one works, I'm gonna be a very happy man. We got the staging set up right. It's wobbling. Wouldn't dispute that. It's a very simply designed rocket. Ooh, it's very heavy though. It's handling its business okay. This is where the asparagus staging is hopefully gonna pay dividends. Just get this bad boy into a level orbit that looks good. So what am I worried about here? Well, first off, I'm launching a robot that looks like Alpha 5 from the Power Rangers. I think I'm confusing Johnny 5 and Alpha. That's okay. Revoke my nerd card. But it handles okay. At the present moment, it seems to handle just fine. We're not using fuel very quickly either. We can afford to slow down at this point, I'd say. I'm worried the whole thing is going to flip when I decouple this first phase, though. So just do me a favor and stay pro-grade for now. Daddy's got work to do. Apoapsis 15,000, okay. This is the moment of truth. Whoa, dude, she stayed relatively level there. So, essentially, I want the final stage of our rocket to more or less just push the orbit very, very distant around Kerbin. And if this works, I'll consider this a good prototype for our deployment of other satellites in the future. So our apoapsis right now is 30,000. Still a long way to go here, but, you know, we're accelerating quite slowly. We're using fuel very slowly as well. I want to be clear there. Now, once we get out of the air, we can dump our fairing here, which is happening very shortly. So we're at full throttle now. Get an apoapsis. I mean, I feel like we should get an apoapsis around 80,000 first. Maybe get like a stable orbit that's circular, then accelerate at peri or apoapsis to get it as high as possible. Now, this orbit is going to be good, dude. 80,000. I think that's fine. All right, so we got a little time. Let's deploy our protective shell. You working? Seems good. Seems good right now. Okay, let's set our maneuver. We got 1 minute and 32 seconds till we reach apoapsis. Periapsis is 80. Apoapsis is 291. That's too much. Periapsis is 80. Apoapsis is 109. That's very good. 93, 80, 79, 80. You know what? I'll take that. They're only 10,000 meters apart. I am highly A-okay with that. Slowly maneuver me to the prograde marker, please. I'll give you a little throttle so you can do so faster. Not much. We might need this fuel. Remember, we've only got one stage on this bad boy, so we're burning for 19 seconds starting in about 30 seconds. So I think that we should just handle this in real time. We should really just hit it now. Okay, so, I mean, we're not doing any flips at this point, probably. Our final step is to put us in, like, a relatively ridiculously, large orbit around Kerbin. We want to get satellites that go about 120 degrees apart here, because if they're all in sync, they're never going to give us full, like, 360-degree coverage. Sometimes they'll be behind the planet when we're trying to transmit to the planet, which could be catastrophic, especially when you consider that we need to issue commands to the rocket as it flies. That's the whole game plan here, right? Good. Maneuver relatively successful. 78,000, 83. Dude, I'm okay with that. The final step is supposed to be the easy one. At apoapsis, like burn prograde, my dude. Oh, wait, no. See, we're fundamentally, we're making a mistake. We're trying to escape orbit here. We don't want to escape orbit. We want to create a large circular orbit. So let's use our noggin. How would we create a large circular orbit? Well, I think we'd actually... Okay, so I mean, that isn't what we're going for. Oops. We might want to accelerate along a different axis. For example... Yeah, well, I wouldn't recommend that one. That leads to you dying. My stupid game plan right now is like... burn at apoapsis, and then burn at periapsis, and then burn at apoapsis. Like, so we're at apoapsis, we make like a sick maneuver, right? And then at apoapsis here... we do that. Oh, dude. Is this really necessary? See, that, like, this is only taking us to the moon right now, which seems a little ridiculous, but... it should be a circular-ish orbit, I think. We actually accidentally got a Minmus encounter, which is kind of hilarious. And it's a long one. We don't want a Kerbal escape. So this is bigger than Minmus's orbit right now. And the final thing we'll do there, I guess, is add another... I mean, this looks good to me. We're essentially creating a relatively circular orbit around the planet. Apoapsis is 71 million. Periapsis is 59 million. So, I mean, we could probably cut that down a little bit. 69, 57, whatever. Okay, you know what? I'm going to accept this is okay. And it's going to take us several maneuvers to get there. But that's cool. If we actually succeed on this, I'll consider this like an enormous success. So first things first, can you position me perhaps along the prograde? Do we have enough fuel to do this? I mean, we're going to have one big fuel tank and a lot less weight to haul. I think it's conceivable. You know what? We put stupid monopropellant. We never put any RCS ports on this thing, which would have been extremely helpful. Why am I using throttle? Trust me when I say that I would rather not. But I do need a little to get myself to this maneuver node. And this is the danger of having like one very, very like bottom heavy section remaining here. It's going to be annoying as heck. No, don't stability assist. Thank you. Most of our maneuvers are actually, and actually, come back to me. Because I think that I've actually established it that all of our maneuvers simply burn prograde. So as a result, we actually don't have to do anything except point prograde. So we shouldn't mess around with maneuver nodes. All right, a 25-second burn in 3 minutes. Good. Go prograde, please. RCS ports would have solved this problem 100%, but we're using like almost no fuel to get ourselves aligned here, so I'm not like super bummed about it. So this might be an inefficient way to get this done, but dude, getting the first satellite in our like relay network here would be a huge milestone for me. Also, execution of a plan that I wasn't necessarily sure would ever come to pass. So like, there is that as well. And honestly, everything's gone according to plan in our last few episodes. Even this like relatively janky rocket design was pretty much working as intended. Now, this is a very coarse maneuver. Like, we don't require super fine control to make it, because we're just making a big circle. We're not trying to land anywhere in particular. So I'm not worried about being a little further away from my node. Okay, so our next maneuver is here. You honestly might as well warp me over here. Again, somehow I've accidentally created an encounter. Which at this point is more just hilarious to me than anything else. So I'll give you like the world's slightest bit of gas to get you pointed correctly here. Remember, everything's at the maneuver nodes. Or sorry, everything's at prograde, so just getting oriented properly here should not be that difficult. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is using almost no fuel. Now, admittedly, what does that mean? Because, like, what does it matter what I'm concerned? It's like a thermodynamics thing. But go to speed 50 for now. Same game plan, more or less. 13 seconds. We're going to pop. Now, we actually have to adjust our maneuver to miss the moon, I think. So just be aware of that. Kind of a similar thing just happened right there. Okay. We are going to encounter the moon. And then smack into it and bounce off. So, we need to miss the moon. Also, my old maneuvers are gone, which makes me real cheesed. Presumably, if we just keep accelerating prograde, we'll miss it. Might be an inefficient use of fuel. What I wouldn't have given for an accidental moon encounter like 30 episodes ago. But you know what? Sure, you got me. Add maneuver. Dude, just... incredible. Alright, there you go. Now, let me guess. We're going to be orbiting the sun now. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Probably slow your roll then. What is this? What have I done? What have I done? What is this orbit? Like, are you seeing this thing go snaky? Okay, so we're gonna collide with this stupid thing, and I hate it. How about what if you just miss it this way? Okay, then we escape, and then we're in orbit around Sol, which we don't want. We want to be captured by Kerbin. This is our Kerbin escape. Now we got a periapsis of 3 million and an apoapsis. No, delete this maneuver. I don't even know what's going on with that one. Get that. Okay, so now... in theory, this establishes an okay orbit, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. But here we're going to add a maneuver. I'm going to burn like that. I will settle for this at this point. But really what we do want to do is add another maneuver here in a month. And, burn prograde. And not breakout, but there you go. Establish something like this. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I don't think we're going to... We're definitely... I'll just tell you straight up. We're not going to have enough fuel. So... point me to the maneuver node, please. What do we learn for this one? Dude, just put RCS ports on this thing and you're fine. RCS ports and aim to miss the moon, apparently. I didn't realize that would be such a conundrum. But clearly it is. In fact, we should basically scrap this one right now. We just don't have enough fuel. But the fuel is due to wasting about 30 seconds of fuel trying to miss the moon. By just burning towards it faster. Which in hindsight doesn't seem that intelligent. Also, we might want to just tack on a very small but more agile stage for this one. Yeah, you know what? This is just spin endlessly into outer space. You're good. We're going to recover this one because it's a bit of a disaster. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Next episode, I fully predict we'll get 3 of these bad boys into orbit, and then we can begin our unmanned flights to Duna. But first, engines? Command and control? Payload? Where's our RCS nonsense? Oh, I clicked off the screen. Command and control, command and control. RCS thruster block. Give me 4 of these, not connected to any fuselage but the central one, as low as is conceivable without touching the control surfaces. Even though these are slightly off center, I think that's fine. Well, I would. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.